Hello, good evening. This is Valerie McDowell, your writer, editor, author, book coach, and consultant here for another episode of Write It Out Wednesday. This is where we come before you and put you back at the top of your writing list. I know lots of things can go on in a week, and getting your writing done sometimes ends up being the thing that's last on the list. But for just a few moments here, we want to make sure that at least you're moving forward, okay? That you are trying to move forward, and not only trying, that you're putting the effort, you're making the steps, you're learning what I'm teaching so that you can go forward in getting your book done. So for those that don't know me, I'm Valerie McDowell. I'm a writer, I'm an author, I'm a publisher, I'm a book coach, I'm a consultant. I help people take those ideas that have been sitting on the shelf of their hearts and minds and put them into a published book. Since 2019, I've helped over 36 people. I think just a few weeks ago, we were at 30 in 30 months, and we have far surpassed that already. And so you too could be next. And just for your information, we just had a great time this past weekend. But coming up next month, October 9th, Sunday, October 9th, join me. If you haven't signed up, please, you want to sign up right away. We are having a righteous brunch. That is where I'm going to go and share with you some very quick ways to get started this year on your book, as well as enjoy a delectable multi-course offering by Marby Corpening at the Fortress at National Harbor, especially for those in a DMV, or if you're visiting that weekend. Come on out, sign up. It's going to be a brunch on Sunday, and it starts at noon. So we're having an amazing time. So I want to see you there. So sign up. I'll put a link down below in case you haven't signed up already. So let's fill the room. It's going to be great. And so tonight I want to talk about finishing strong. We are at September 21st, last day of summer. Last day of summer. Fall starts tomorrow. And so we're going into the fourth quarter. Are you ready? As we wrap up this month next week, are you ready for what's coming ahead? A lot of times, the end of the year, things speed up. Our world, we never know what's going to happen from day to day. But where are you in terms of what you said you're going to do? So tonight, I want to talk about or write about finishing strong, okay? We're writing it out. So we're going to write about finishing strong. And I just have some points I want to share with you just to make sure that that is on top of mind for you, that you have made a commitment to finish strong. And so the first thing I want to say is that you first have to make up in your mind that you're going to finish strong. For some people, they may feel that, oh, I haven't gotten it done. It's already the end of September. Yeah, I'll do it next year. No, we are not doing that. All right. It's like, that's not what we're going to do. In fact, we're doing just the opposite, because many times, the ending is always the best part. It's just like, when they say spoiler alert, like, no, don't spoil it for me. I want the end of this. I want to see the fulfillment of all of my hard work, all of the late hours, all of the sleepless nights, all the things that I have done. I want to see the fulfillment of that. So that's what finishing strong. That's our first point tonight, because we want to get to the good part. We want to get to that ending. It's just like, what's the point of, spending hours and hours cooking this great meal and then you don't get to eat it? It's like, I know some people are like, oh, I don't want to eat after I've cooked. I've sampled all day. But the thing is, you do want that end product. It's just like, taking time to get your hair done or your makeup or new outfit or even getting married and doing all those things. You want to go through with this. You don't want to spend hours, months, days, years dating, courting, planning, all this stuff for it to go to naught, so always plan that, get that straight before you get to the end, but the thing is, you want to finish strong. Okay. You want to finish strong. And a lot of times there are bumps in the road, like working on a book. But then you remember something that happened, you were at a lull, you were like, oh my God, I don't know what to write. But then you get quiet. One of the things I encourage you to do, and you listen for the voice inside that tells you what it is you need to write. And then it comes out strong. Oh my God, you start remembering things and situations and where you were and how you felt and all that. Write it down then, because that energy, those feelings, all that stuff is what you need to put in that story, because that's how you finish that book. by getting quiet, by allowing those thoughts, by allowing the words that you need to say to come, because it's in you already. Okay, it just needs to come out. And that's what I personally help my clients do. I help pull out those stories that are inside of them, because that's the thing. It's like you want to have a great product. You want the world to see it. You want to be proud, pat yourself on the back over the good job that you've done. So that's one of the ways that you finish strong. Okay, you make up in your mind that you want to do it, because the reason so many people don't do it is, like I said, they look at the time, they look at the date, they're like, oh, I don't want to finish. And I get it, particularly when it's the things that are less sexy. Even in book coaching and book writing, there are some things that aren't so sexy, and it's like, and the thing that's not sexy for some people is actually very exciting for me. Like, I love editing. I like making things better than they were before. Hey, Regine, good to see you. I almost was like, wait, who's that? So good to see you. And so we're here talking about finishing strong. And so whatever you're doing with that new product you got today, it's like you're doing some things so that you can finish the year strong. And so that's what we're talking about today. And also because one of the ways that you can finish strong or have a great finish is by setting goals. Think about the big picture. What is it that you want to do? It's like for my book coaching clients, it's to finish that book. And I know the feeling, the exhilaration, the big sigh, the finally that comes in your heart when you have that printed book in your hand, when you can see your book online for sale, like that is the end result. That's where you want to get to. And it is all achievable. It's just, you have to follow a few steps. And that's one of them. Think about the big picture. How will you feel when it's done? Because sometimes, we get tired along the way, like I was saying. But you have to be able to see yourself. That's why I tell my people, make sure that you see yourself as that published author. I love when I give my clients copies of the first drafts of a cover, like give them a few examples, like with their name on it and their title. It's like, it's such a great moment for them and for me, because I'm just as excited when I get it back from my designers, where we're like, oh my God, like it's really real. Like I'm really writing a book. And so that's just such an exhilarating feeling, but it's because you have to see the big picture, and that's that finished book. Another thing that you have to do is do the hard things first. Okay, the hard part is actually the writing, because some of the other parts you can do along the way, like getting testimonials, for instance, or getting reviews, your cover design, even because someone else is doing that for you generally, even the layout is being done for you, but it's that writing. So by committing the time, committing like an hour a week, an hour a day, however words come to you. If you're a prolific wordsmith where the words just flow, or you can talk out your book, then, whatever time you need. Like I've told people, you can do it in 15-minute increments. I wrote a book in 4 months in 15-minute increments. It's like, oh, I got a few minutes while I'm waiting, while I'm at a doctor's appointment, while I'm picking up something, I'm writing a book. And you can do it. It can be done. And so think big picture, number one. Number two, do the hard things first. Because if we don't, we're going to let all the other things, it's going to create procrastination, actually. You're going to start doing all the stuff you don't want to do, or that take away and really are distractions from you doing the thing that's hard. But if at the beginning of the day, especially, do the hard thing first. If this is the day you set to write, then go ahead and write. And actually it gets easier because when you have the outline, as I teach, when you go through those steps that I teach, then it becomes easier and you have that outline, you know exactly what you're going to write. But by getting that done, by getting the outline done, the writing comes much easier. And then another thing that you can do. So number 3 is how do you make a great finish? Channel the energy to keep going. That sometimes you got to talk to yourself like, look here. We are going to finish that book, okay? That we are getting this done. That a lot of times we have to have a conversation with ourselves. Whatever way you need to talk to yourself. Some people you need to jack yourself up. Other people you can have a nice, gentle conversation. So you know what it takes for you to move forward. So whatever it is that you need to do, you need to make sure that you are channeling your ability to get things done. And you know how to do this. It's like when you bought a house, when you bought a car, when you've gotten your hair done, when you've done a project at work, when you've taken care of your kids and made dinner, all kinds of things. You know how to get things done. So this is just another example of you doing what you already know how to do. All right. You're just focusing in that moment, like, I have to get this done. And whether you need a timer, a clock, a big bong, or whatever you need in order to sound the alarm to say, hey, this is your deadline. You know, you need to circle dates on the calendar, you know, whatever it is you need to do, get it done. Because you do all kinds of things every day. So this is just one more thing that you can do, but something that you want to do. Okay. This is something you want to do because your story, as I tell people, it's time to tell your story. Oh my God. I've heard so many incredible stories just in the last few weeks. I've got like 20 new ones just from stuff, you know, those of you who've been following me along with some house repairs, and oh my God, the floors are in, it's looking really good. They're painting tomorrow. I'm so excited. And so even when things are like, oh my God, what happened? Like, I got to do a whole, like, wait, what? But, you know, so the hard part was done. They poured new concrete. That part was done. That was quite messy and dusty. But now the floors are in, and it's looking pretty like, oh my God. Like, I didn't really know I was going to have floors like this, but now I do. And they're beautiful. And then the painting, and it's just all going to be beautiful. So I'm so excited. And so, but the hard part was done first. Okay. And I had a vision like, this is going to be done real soon. This is going to be done this week. Oh my God. It's going to be done this week. Yay. Just a few more days. And so the anticipation that you know that something's happening channels the energy to keep going. It's like, all right, write that check, pay that. All right, take care of that. That part's done. Next, move it on. And that's what you have to do. You have to know and have an expectation that it's going to be better even than you thought, because that's where I am. It is going to be better than I thought. That no matter what are the obstacles that get in your way, it's like you have to look forward to what it is you're going to accomplish, because we're having a great finish here. Hey, Sheila, good to see you. We're talking about how to have a great finish as we are rounding out the end of September, going into the fourth quarter. And you being a financial girl, you know about numbers. You know how much it is that we need to get done. And so just like with you, we are getting things done. And so, that was number 3, and I have 3 more. Okay. I was like, sometimes, you know, stuff just comes to you because life is happening right in front of you. And it's like, as I tell all of you, use it. Your life speaks. It tells you what you need to do. So the thing about it is, and when you kind of channel that energy to get things done, yes, you're working, that, you know, there is a power that comes to you that tells you, like, you can do this, that you have abilities inside of you, innate supernatural things that only you can do. And there is a energy, a power inside of you that says, we're going to get this done. Even when you're tired, even when you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. Even when you're like, oh my God, how much more? It's like, but every time you push yourself, every time you go a little bit further, it's like you get that much more closer to your goal. And before you know it, we're at the end. It's like, I was talking to a client who's 81. This woman is coming up with all kinds of things to do constantly. But she's like, Val, my New Yorker accent. She's like, we got to get this done. You know, she's 81. I love it. It's just like, you know, my thing is I want to die empty. I want to do all the things that I put on this earth to do so that I can go out here having accomplished everything that I need to do. And so our number 4, okay, how to finish well, commitment. Okay. For many of you, what is the commitment that you made? You told yourself when you contracted, even with me, you said, I want to finish this book. It's been sitting on a shelf. It's been in my heart. Everybody been telling me. I've spoken, and they're like, you need to put that in a book. Well, here's your opportunity. Do the thing that you said you were going to do. No more excuses. Did I ever tell you about the gym I used to go to? It was called No Excuses. It was just funny. And they had the best Zumba and hip hop, belly dancing. Oh my God. It was incredible. I know. Okay, I'm back. But you made a commitment that you were going to go to this gym, that you were going to write your book, that you were going to do whatever it was going to do it. No excuses. Okay. It's like, because every time you put something off or you don't do the thing you said you're going to do, it's still waiting for you. You know, it's like your closet. If you never clean it out, or the refrigerator, it's still there, filled with stuff you said you were going to get rid of. You know, and after a while, it kind of crowds you. It starts to smell and all kinds of things. You know, you don't want to be woken up in the middle of the night where, you know, there's a voice saying, so what about chapter 3? It could be my voice leaving you a voicemail message, but nonetheless, it's just like commitment. Commitment is part of you finishing well. What did you say you were going to do? Keep your word, okay? And that leads to number 5, integrity. The value and importance that you place on this project. Is this important to you? You've got all these people helping you, supporting you, telling you can do this, putting things together, using their time, their energy, they're losing sleep to help you do the thing you said you were going to do. Have integrity about what you say. It's like, because we don't need to waste money, waste time or energy bringing people in, doing things. You said you're going to help your friend move, or you said you're going to help them do this, and then you don't show up. Not good. Not good. It's like, and that's one of my pet peeves. It's like, do what you say you're going to do. Have integrity. Let your name stand for something. Let your name stand for, she's going to show up. I know she might be late, but she's showing up. Or she's never late. She should be on her way. She's probably parking. Have that kind of integrity about you and who you are. And particularly when it comes to projects and things that that the timing of it is always so key. I had this wonderful client who went through many health challenges and different things, but she was just the best woman, and she spoke all kinds of things into existence that she said she was going to do. Like her illness prevented her for a while from being able to even get out of her bed, but she spoke to herself and said, I will walk. Not only will I walk, I'm going to sing again, because she used to be a part of a praise and worship team. She said she was going to dance, and I saw her dancing at a Valentine's Day event with her husband. And in addition, she said she was going to write a book. She said, Val, I need you. I need your help, but I have a book I want to write. And we got her book done in March of last year, 2021. And this poor soul, beautiful woman, but she died in May. And so her book signing, which she said she was going to have, was at my house the day the books got delivered. And so this is an example of doing what you said. She didn't know her time was up. But we got her book done because she had integrity and commitment about the thing that she said she was going to do. And then finally, excellence. Number 6, how do you finish strong? In excellence. If the thing you said you're going to do, in the integrity that the way you're going to do it, let's do it with excellence. I want to see a wonderful, exceedingly abundantly great work from your hands, from your heart, from your mind, like your thoughts, the thing that God has put in your heart to do, or the story you're writing about your family, or something you overcame, or some business principles or strategies that you can teach others. Let's do it in an excellent way. It's like, because that's why you're here. It's like, there are people who need what you have, and by you completing it, then they get to have their lives transformed. They get to have a better life regime with you. It's like they have a better perspective as to their value, whether they're, having a child or not. Sheila, their financial life is changed. I was just listening to stock stuff because of you. It's just like, I'm looking at my portfolio here, but because we encounter and interact with other people, our lives are made better because of what we're learning, what we're doing. And so as a result, we have to continue to do well so that we finish strong. So those are the points I have for you ladies tonight, and for everyone that's watching and watching the replay. Make sure you hit replay if you're watching the replay. But tonight we've been talking about finishing strong here on Write It Out Wednesday. And so one of the things we want to do is think about the big picture, okay? Think about the big picture. Don't get bogged down in, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this. Think about, I'm going to have a finished book. I'm going to be a published author. I'm going to complete this house. I'm going to learn to swim. Whatever it is that you need to do, think about the big picture. Number 2, do the hard things first. It's like, do it. If you're trying to change your diet, for instance, do the hard thing. Get rid of all the junk in your house, all right? Get it down to there's nothing but fruit and vegetables, maybe a butter stick and some ketchup, okay? Do the hard things first. Get rid of the stuff that are going to be temptations for you, and then you can focus on the next part of that journey. It's the same with your book. Do the hard thing. If you have to do some research, if you have to find out some information about something, do that first. Because we don't want to write the book and then we're like, oh, is that information correct? was that name spelled right? Let's do that first. Get the things done that might require more of your time or energy, or it might require someone else's time and energy to help you. Do those things first, and then the rest of it will become easy. Number 3, channel your ability to keep going. It's like inside of us, we can encourage ourselves. We have the stamina and determination within us that we can keep going. And sometimes you just have to have a hard conversation with yourself that this is what we're going to do. Remember, this is our goal. Remember, we said we were going to do this. So those are some things that we said we were going to do. So encourage yourself, channel that energy to keep you going. Number 4, commitment, doing the thing that you said you're going to do. Integrity, the way in which you do it. Do it with seriousness. Do it knowing that, people are watching even. And do it because you said you were. And then finally, do it in a spirit of excellence. It's like when I look at finished work, I'm proud. I want my name associated with that work. I want that client to be like, yes, that's my book coach, because I want to do it in a spirit of excellence. So if it's late nights, early mornings, travel, moving, reading, rereading, rereading, we're going to get it done because we want to do an excellent work. So where are you in this? Are you ready to end 2022 with a strong finish? So I hope you are. And for those of you who don't know this, we are having, I'm just repeating this, but our Righteous Brunch is coming up next month, October 9th. It's a Sunday brunch. It's called a Righteous Brunch. Okay. Shout out to Marby Corpney. It's going to be at the Fortress for the people that live in the DMV. That's the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, in Fort Washington near National Harbor. It's going to be like multi-course. This woman, the food is amazing. I've been there for many different events, and it's just a great gatherings place, for good conversation. And I'm going to be teaching how to get that book started this year. I'm going to teach you how to pull some of those stories out and how to move forward in getting your books started and completing in as little as 90 days. All right. So I'm Valerie McDowell, your writer, editor, author, book coaching consultant, here for another episode of Write It Out. And I'll see you next time. Have a good evening.